Hi, so my name is Zarifah and I'm going to be talking about the introduction to Apple Incorporated. So Apple Incorporated is an American multinational company that is headquartered in Cupertino, California. They design, manufacture, and market smartphones, personal computers, tablets, services, accessories, and wearables. The company was founded on the 1st of April in 1976 by three different people, which include Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne. With Steve Jobs being the CEO at the time and the brains behind all of their big products, they were able to revolutionize the technology industry when they introduced the first ever iPhone and iPad in 2007 and 2010 respectively. Steve Jobs later on resigned as CEO on the 24th of August in 2011 and passed away a few weeks later after losing his long battle against cancer. He was then replaced by Tim Cook, who is still currently serving as the CEO of Apple till this day. Not only did Tim Cook bring updated versions to all of their previous products, he also introduced some very successful wearable products, which include the Apple Watch and the AirPods. And so that is it for the introduction, and now we will move on to the next person.
Apple Inc. doesn't have an official mission statement on its website, but there is a statement that could be considered as a mission statement in its annual report. This says that Apple is pledged to providing its customer service. Customer the best user experience with revolutionary hardware, software, and of course services. In addition to that, there is one statement that mentions empowerment. In the last sentence of the company pledge, it says that upon the launch of Macintosh in 1984, Apple pioneered digital technology. Apple currently takes the lead in technology with Apple iPhone, iPad, Mac, Apple Watch, and Apple TV. Outputs for iOS, macOS, watchOS, and tvOS operating system offer seamless experience among all the Apple devices and empower users with innovative services such as the Apple Store, Apple Music, Apple Pay, and Cloud. Over 100,000 of employees of Apple are committed to creating the best product on the planet and making the planet greater than they discovered. In short, Apple's mission is to provide customers with a great user experience through their innovative hardware, software, and services, and to make the world a better place they are with the Apple leading technology.
My name is Arshad and I'll be discussing about SWOT analysis. So, SWOT analysis refers to a strategic planning technique that is used by a person or organization to identify the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in a business or a particular project. In other words, SWOT analysis helps to assess the current situation of an organization or a market. Hence, SWOT. I will be discussing Apple's SWOT analysis. So, for the strength, this refers to the things the organization does really well, and this is what distinguishes the company to other companies. So, one of Apple's main strengths is pushing for innovation. Apple has introduced game-changing innovative products in the tech world, such as iPods, iPads, iPhones, and Macs. These were all one of their kind when they were first released. They have also discouraged the support of different input-output modules in favor of more modern ports. For example, they have removed the headphone jack, which was present in literally every single device out there. They were the first company to remove it. They have also removed support for USB Type-A and barrel connectors in their laptops and HDMI cables in in favor of more modern ports such as USB Type-C. Hence, this will result in the products being more future-proof. But then they have also introduced a solution for the problem they've created themselves, and it is a very profitable solution. So they have, by removing the headphone jack, they have started selling AirPods and dongles. Apple wins when it comes to advertising. The unique and colorful ads become very appealing to normal customers. There's no question about that. Combine this with their products in the ecosystem, which is again another branch in the innovation sector. It will result in a more loyal customer base, since it will be very hard to have the same experience outside the Apple ecosystem. Now, the weaknesses are the obstacles that hinder the growth of the company. For Apple, one of the main weaknesses, and they have been criticized enough, is by having very expensive products. From having the iPhone 10 being the first flagship smartphone with a 1,000 USD price tag, to selling $700 wheels for their Mac Pros. This makes the products feel like a luxury, and some certain groups of people become unable to afford such products. Another weakness is caused by the strength itself. The push for innovation, at least for now, has made them support limited functionalities to their devices. Example, as I said before, the lack of USB Type A or HDMI cables or headphone jacks, this has made the users unable to quickly adapt to such a change in standards. But however, with time, other companies will start following and adapting slowly, and people will start to get used to it. Opportunities are ideas that will potentially help the organization grow. And for Apple, one of the areas they can really exploit is by producing more wearables. The Apple Watch and the AirPods are already $1 billion company, where customers still have a high demand in those particular products. The company should also try to broaden its products for different types of markets. They have recently released the 2020 iPhone SE with a $400 price tag. This is said to already be a success, since it offers a gateway into the Apple's ecosystem with a cheap price. But then critics say this makes the company go backwards in terms of innovation, since the SE features exactly the same dimensions as the iPhone 8 that released 3 years ago, and looks very similar to the iPhone 6 that released way back in 2015. Threats are factors where an organization has no control over. These two are obstacles that stops a company from growing, just like weaknesses, except these are external factors, and the company can do nothing about it. In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic has caused multiple businesses to shut down, including production factories in China, where Apple's main production base is based upon. Another threat is the rise of different technological companies. Companies such as Samsung in the smartphone business, OnePlus in the smartphone business, Microsoft in the laptop business, Razer Blade in the laptop business have sparked intense competition in the market. Apple's rivals have been introducing cutting-edge technologies to their devices, such as in-screen fingerprint in smartphones, or having better-looking laptops with very powerful and fast components for roughly the same price as MacBooks that Apple produces. So, to sum it all up, Apple's strength mainly come from being the company being innovative, having good advertising, and having a good ecosystem, and having a more loyal customer base. That's where they thrive upon. The weaknesses include having expensive products and their push for this sudden push for innovation, like the sudden push for changes. So those are the weaknesses. There are opportunities to exploit the wearables market and introducing more products with a reasonable price tag. And the threats include the COVID-19 pandemic. It would be really interesting to see how they act upon it, and the rivals introducing more improved technologies. So Apple really needs to step up their game and introduce more advanced products, I guess, in order to stay ahead of the market.
Hello, my name is Ahmed Alsayed Yosif Osman. Today, I'm gonna talk about how Apple has formulated the strategies that the company uses, what type of strategy it is, and in the general scheme, how does it benefit the company. The first strategy we're gonna be talking about is the diversification of products. Diversification of products is a corporate strategy that Apple uses, which include computers, and it includes personal computers like the Mac and the Mac Pro. It includes mobile phones like the iPhone, the Apple Music Store, and there are different softwares that ship with their devices. By allowing the company to diversify and not just focus on one product, it helped the company be competitive in the market, and it helped the company by having a mixture of computing devices and entertainment services. It allowed it to be more efficient in the production and the delivery of its products, and it allowed them to set the prices at their level. They controlled it at the same time, and they had remaining profits to help them in more research and development. The second strategy that Apple uses, it's the formation of strategic allies. This is another corporate strategy, and Apple has implemented it to help them not in the short range but in the long range. By formulating strategies with other companies, it helped Apple reduce costs. It helped them get the best components on products to put inside their own products, and it solidified that they have a profitable economy. One of the things that they get is also information from competitors. They get the stats, they get the numbers, and they formulate it together to see where they should invest next. Some of the alliances that Apple has made has been with some big companies like AT&T, a telecommunication company in the US, and with Microsoft for developing software for Apple, and with their fiercest competitor, Samsung, to help provide software and products like the AMOLED screens that they use in their new iPhones. The third strategy that Apple has used is the internalization of products. Basically, it means Apple didn't commit to one place on earth to just develop products. They have established factories in America and mainly in China to take advantage of the labor costs and to access raw material there in a lower price. The Chinese market helped them produce in a high rate, in more numbers, because China is a stable economical environment due to the stability of the Chinese economy. So we see that not limiting yourself to one location, finding the best location to produce your products and investing your money there, finding a stabilized economy in a country, and finding the best way to manufacture products will be helpful in the long run. The next strategy that Apple implemented is the cost leadership strategy. Cost leadership strategy is a competitive strategy that is used to increase efficiency and to reduce production costs below the industry average or with their closest competitors. Cost leadership is the most widely used strategy to gain competitive advantage in the market, while at the same time uh, it helps the company operate profitably. So as you lose money making products, but you gain that money back in selling those products. Apple has adopted this strategy by producing cost effective, high quality products using affordable and economically viable raw materials, which is enhanced by the presence of a powerful, innovative management team that runs the company and the product and marketing staff. So all these factors combined made Apple the competitive in the market that they are. The next strategy that Apple has implemented is by establishing a human resources department in their company. This is a functional strategy. A human resource department is responsible for many important jobs at the company. It is the most crucial function in the influence and determination of the organization structure. The human resource department function is managing the workforce, and it cannot be shared with another department. It would confuse the company. The human resource department provides a clear distinction that is the base of the functional structure of an organization. In the case of Apple, it functions majorly to help in the avoidance of duality and overlapping of various roles played by the functional group. So by having a human resource department, all the employees will get a direct, straight message. They know what to do. They are not confused by too many orders. They know who is who, what's the structure system of the company, and this helps the company run more efficiently and reduces wasteful times and reduces the amount of having to go and see whose job is what. The next strategy we have is the establishment of an innovative recruitment strategy. This is another functional strategy. Recruitment is one of the most important aspects of forming a company, of forming a relationship between employees, of forming the team that will help build your image, of helping build your idea and make it a reality. The recruitment strategy ensures that the candidate is hired only after meeting all the legal obligations that the human resource department has laid out in the job description. In the case of Apple, the way they do it is before they announce a vacancy in a job, they write a job description, they write the details of the job required, the salary, the range of it, and the skills required to meet the job. After this is completed, the human resource department announces open positions and they create a recruitment ad. After the application deadline has passed, Apple gathers the completed applications, they screen them for candidates who meet the requirements, and then they invite them for a meeting to see how they react. How is their social skills? Are they going to be compatible with other people in the job? Are they motivated? These are very important factors that Apple uses to ensure they hire the very best candidates. The last strategy I'm going to be talking about is the targeting a specific demographic. This is a competitive strategy that Apple uses by focusing their marketing department, their ads, how they present their products to the specific demographic that they know. They've done the research. They know who wants what. They know that the iPhones, they tend to be more popular with this demographic. And let's say the MacBook is popular with another demographic. They know this after they crunch the numbers, after they do the work. So let's say for the iPhone, okay? According to a study done by AdMob in 2010, iPhone is favored among certain key demographic groups, like 25% of all iPhone users are under the age of 25, while 46% are under the age of 35. By knowing these numbers, they can determine how to advertise the product, how to engage the audience in their ads and draw them in by targeting a specific demographic. This way, you ensure your product is delivered to the best section of the population that it can be. How is the engagement of the customers in the product? So it is all connected and it all helps the company. So all these strategies that we talked about, they have to be formulated, they have to be implemented in the company. And this is what we're gonna discuss in the next section. Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about the 6 main points when it comes to strategy implementation. Let's start off with structure. During the period of 1997 to 2011, Steve Jobs had the helm when it came to Apple. Everything revolved around him. Then after a takeover of Tim Cook around August 2011, Apple's organizational structure and culture had been modified to grant more autonomy for decision making for employees on all levels. Nevertheless, Apple's organizational structure remains to be largely hierarchical due to the large size of the company. All project-based teams represent an important feature of Apple's organizational structure. 2 main elements of Apple's organizational structure can be specified as product-based groupings, effective collaborations between groups and divisions throughout the company. This organizational structure offers certain advantages such as strong control by senior management, employee motivation due to promotions and opportunities, and a clear division of authority and responsibility within the company. Okay, let's go on to the second point, systems. Apple's business operation relies on a wide range of systems that include but are not limited to employee selections and recruitments, employee performance appraisals and team development, and etc. The competitive advantage that the world's largest IT company has is the effective new product development system. To a great extent compared to other systems. Specifically, the company places design at the forefront of their new product development process. As stated by Google, the design process at Apple is not over when manufacturing begins. In fact, Apple iterates the design throughout the manufacturing. Okay, let's go down to the third point, style. Style mostly refers to higher management in Apple, and it mostly means how they communicate their priorities to the organization. And they do this by ensuring that there's no discrimination in the company. And all work is done in teams and it's peer vetted, so everybody sees your work to effectively make a better product. One amazing thing Apple does too is they have like this, they have a subtle way of encouraging people, and that's by clapping. For any small matter, they will clap. if you get recruited, if you did something good. This is mainly there to liven up the mood, to lighten it up, for employees to feel it's just not work. It's a place where you come and you can enjoy yourself. Okay, let's go down to the fourth point, staff. This all starts off with recruitment. From the beginning, Apple gives out a series of tests and exercises that ensure that the individual has the right mindset and team building capabilities to not only help themselves but others in the process. They also make sure that they have mixed demographic. Apple educates employees on how to effectively deal with people, not only consumers but also staff, on how to build a team, on how to effectively communicate and work with people. Okay, let's go down to the fifth point, skills. Skills refer to the distinctive ability of every single employee. And for any good company, the skill set of every employee is very important. Now, let's talk in terms of Apple. It's obvious that Apple's employees have a very good skill set when it comes to computing and design and etc. due to their large success. Now, to ensure this, Apple has set multiple courses for the employees. Every year there are multiple courses that they could attend that would just add to their skill set one by one, and that is amazing because it helps them improve, helps them grow, and therefore makes Apple grow. Okay, let's go down to the final point, shared values. Apple's shared values mainly come from their vision and mission. They also ensured that every single product they make would be accessible to every man, woman or child. And Apple is very focused on their core values. The product development, the promotion, the distribution, the customer service, every single thing. The company is intensely focused on it. The brand is built from its core values. It's become its DNA. Tim Cook, who is currently the CEO of Apple, said, and I quote, "Steve built a company and a culture that is unlike any other in the world, and we're going to stay true to that."
Okay, so now we're going to be talking about the conclusion to this entire presentation. So the technology industry is highly competitive. It requires corporations working in it to be very, very extreme with their strategies. This is so that not only do they gain competitive advantage, but it is also to function profitably. Apple has initiated business-like techniques which focuses on price management and differentiation. Because of this, it has made the company to be a dominant force in almost all of its lines of businesses. Apple Incorporated pledges to present their customers with their best user experience and to innovate and inspire the world through their technology. And that is all for this presentation. Thank you!